Oh, hi. I didn't hear you come in. My name's Mr. Beal. I teach English here at Normal West, and I'm here to share with you my craziest teaching moment. So, it was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I think it was my second year teaching, and it was a routine day, probably a Tuesday, I don't know, and I was probably teaching about something like adjectives, and I heard a disturbance in the hallway. So I ran out and I peered out, and there was a young teacher, another young teacher. She was new to the building, and she said that there was a fight that had broken out in her classroom. So she seemed nervous about it, so I ran and got one of my friends who taught down the hallway, and we came in and we intervened. And already the students had formed sort of a crude circle around the two men fighting, the two perpetrators, I guess. They were egging them on, saying, "Fight, fight, fight." And their fangs were bared, wanting blood, all the typical things that high schoolers do during a fight. Well, my friend and I, we intervened. We separated the two. He took one of them, and I took the other. We walked them outside the classroom to head toward the main office so they could get their just desserts. And the gentleman who I was escorting was wearing a zip-up hoodie. And I didn't notice this until it was too late. He slipped out of his hoodie and darted out the door into a field behind the high school. And my first instinct was to chase him. So I chased him. I was wearing wingtips, black ones. I think I bought them at Kohl's, and gray slacks, and probably a shirt and tie. It was not suited to be chasing somebody, but I did my level best anyway. And he was a spry young thing. He was really running, and I was a little out of shape at the time, but I did my best, and I was advancing on him as he was running. I was getting closer still. I felt good about myself. This was my duty, my moral imperative to get this kid. And as I made it within just a few feet of him, I felt very accomplished that I was going to do the right thing. And then I realized, well, what am I going to do? Tackle the kid? Am I going to slap him? Am I going to cuff him? I didn't really know how to handle this situation, apart from, I guess, really messing him up. So I don't know if it was just my instinct that let him get away, or the fact that I was very physically tired from chasing a kid near a football field. But he got away, and I trudged back to the school, still holding his zip-up hoodie.